I don't know if you've ever hung around with people that are kind of towards the end of their life, very elderly people, I mean. Often what they do is they go on and on about all the stuff that they've seen over the course of their life. And I love it when they do that because I find that I can learn a lot from just listening to the conversation. This is a little bit what's happening when we sit with the book of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is attributed to King Solomon, which is why it's coming in the order that we're reading it in. So we've just started reading Chronicles, 2 Chronicles that is, and we just read yesterday about how Solomon asks for wisdom. And the whole point of Ecclesiastes is it's this wise king, this teacher, as he's known. Towards the end of his life, many think, reflecting on all the things and all the lessons that he's learnt over the years and kind of reminiscing about them and kind of putting them down in a book, really. And so a little bit later on, we're going to come back to 2 Chronicles and we'll carry on reading the stories of Solomon, but we've interrupted it with this little foray into Ecclesiastes. What lessons can we learn from Ecclesiastes? Well, the first thing is, thank goodness we're reading it in spring and not in the middle of winter because it's a seriously depressing book. And my word, if it was grey and snowing outside, then I think we might all get very, very sad. So thank goodness it's a little bit more of a blue sky. Everything is meaningless. This is just him really reflecting on the fact that life has cycles and it can seem like there's completely no point to them. So no one remembers the generation that was 2 generations before. No one will remember us. The sun comes up, the sun goes down, the sun comes up, the sun goes down. You know, you work under the sun, you have a certain number of days and then you die, and that's the end of life. And he's just reflecting on the fact that he's basically feels like he's seen everything under the sun. He can't find meaning in anything. And as followers of Jesus, we always have to read the Old Testament in the light of the New Testament, with our New Testament kind of goggles on, as it were. And the New Testament screams at us, as does many, many other parts of the Old Testament, that life is pregnant with meaning, that it is actually full of purpose, and that we're not these meaningless little accidents that kind of toil around like tiny little ants and then we die. But it is worth just learning from Ecclesiastes in so much as its reflection on the fact that life will have seasons, that you and I will both find that our lives go through certain periods where some things become more important and other things become less so. And the point that he makes about time, there's a time for everything, is just something that's worth considering. A time to be born, obviously, and a time to die. And I won't read it all through, but there's some really powerful things that he refers to that happen over time. What sort of season does God have you in at the moment? Is this a time of building? Is this a time of stillness? Is this a time of action? Is this a time of learning? Is this a time of putting all the things you learnt into action? What sort of a season does he have you in? I know for me, 2014, I really felt strongly was a year that I was just to go all out and do as much as I could possibly do. And this year, at the start of 2015, I felt like God told me to rein it back a little bit, to spend more time with him, to spend more time in prayer and reading the Bible. And that's what I'm trying to do a little bit more of this year. What season does God have your life in at the moment?